All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to When the Right One Comes, the ladies edition. It's ladies' night, and we feel all right. The ladies are here, and I'm going to ask everybody to invite and share at Bishop Greg Davis on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, we are now live on YouTube also. And so begin to check in if you would invite and share like I'm about to do. It is When the Right One Comes, the ladies edition. And the beautiful queens are in the house. And we're excited about tonight. I got a lot of questions for them. And so we want y'all to invite and share, invite and share, invite and share. And I'm trying to do the same thing. There they go. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's invite and share. Y'all check in and let us know who's here. I see Morgan. Hey, Morgan. Dawn is here. I see Miss Dennis is here. Good evening, y'all. Monique from Atlanta is here. Everybody invite and share. Let me know that you shared. The ladies are talking tonight from their own viewpoints on tonight. And I think you're going to enjoy on tonight. It's going to be amazing. There's Bishop Antoine.
Bishop Antoine, don't start with me. Bishop Antoine. I have to share it to my mother.
I see a lot of our Clubhouse people in here. The numbers are climbing. It's about 111 people on. Quentin, you told me you was going to be the first one on here. Corey. The ladies of Clubhouse are in the house.
Yes, pull up on us.
I am the thorn of the roses. Antoine say, Candace, behave yourself.
No promises.
Dwayne said he's here trolling.
Oh gosh.
He's just here for the comments.
Clubhouse family in the building. Y'all invite and share. Or as y'all know it, let's ping somebody.
Right?
Go ahead and ping
Angelica.
about 5 people into the room. Ping about 5 people into the room.
Right, ping about 5 people into the room. We're going to have the ladies introduce themselves.
So funny. He's somebody.
We got 130.
What is going on?
He's talking about.
We have 131 people in the room. Ladies, put yourself on mute, please, until I introduce y'all. Y'all cutting up. We have about 133 people in the room. Keep inviting people. Hey, Kiki, Mika. We got 137.
This is crazy.
Ladies, you all look fabulous.
Thank you, Bishop.
Thank you, Bishop. So do you, handsome.
Yes, the model.
No, I didn't do that. This is good. But y'all do look fabulous, though. I don't know. Ladies, we're here. We love you. We love on you tonight. Oh, Broderick.
Hey, Broderick.
Thank you, Broderick.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Those of you that are on YouTube, let me know you're out there. 144 people in the room. We're trying to get to 200. Keep sharing and inviting. They do look beautiful. The queens are in the building. They are here to set the record straight. All right. We're missing two. One is having technical difficulties, and the other is on her way. She lives in California, so she's trying to beat the traffic. Danielle, hey.
Coffee, you see that?
Coffee.
Hey, Coffee.
Hey, Coffee.
There's Claiborne with his hey coffee.
Hey, Michael.
Corey, yes, I'm heading to a tea party. It's always a classy event over here.
Right?
Yep. It's
Why
always
does I look like I'm hungry? What? Corey is crazy. Corey, why you gotta cut up like
Always
this?
have something to say.
I could eat though.
Hi, Amber.
Beautiful smile, Amber. Hey, that's a brown. Hey.
163. We're gonna get started at that 200 mark.
Y'all see what Antoine got on there?
One.
Shoot the shot, man of God.
He is a mess.
Nairobi,
166
thank you.
people. Y'all keep on sharing, everybody.
Thank you, beautiful.
Everybody keep sharing, please. Keep sharing.
Hey, Miss Amber Brown. You're leaning in, Apostle Michael.
Don't tip over.
Hi, Lynn Jackson. Atlantic City in the house. Hey, Katrina.
Hey, Miss Holloway.
Katrina.
Do any of you all have, I'm getting a text. Do any of you all have your live on in the background? We're getting feedback.
No. Well, we just lost Bishop.
Bishop left quietly.
Right? He left quietly and mysteriously.
Yes, he did.
It's a mystery for me. Here he come.
He was in the matrix.
He was in the Matrix. He was reloading.
Yeah, it knocked me out. I don't know if it's because there's a storm coming here or what's going on. Because I didn't have this problem last night, but we're going to work through it. All right, 177 in the room. Can y'all hear me?
Hey,
Good.
I hear you loud.
Okay, let's get started, you all. I am happy to host tonight for the third installment of the ladies, but this is a different group of ladies. These young ladies, these ladies are part of a team on Clubhouse. If you are not on Clubhouse, these are the Clubhouse ladies, and they are some amazing ladies. Hold on, Melinda, with the comments for a minute, please. All right. These are some amazing ladies, and they have great perspectives and great thoughts. They are leaders and entrepreneurs. Some are preachers, and some are coaches. And tonight, they are giving their perspective from a lady's point of view. And I see all the men from the men's edition on Monday nights who've been going 48 strong. Thank you, brothers, for supporting. If everybody would continue to invite and share so we can get the numbers up. We're going to get started. I'm going to let the ladies introduce themselves, starting with P. Coffee.
Hey.
She can introduce herself and tell you a little bit about herself.
Okay, sorry, Bishop. I'm sorry. Good evening, everybody.
No, I think I'm a little behind. Go ahead.
Alrighty, so my name is P. Coffee Brown. I'm here in the great state of Texas by way of Houston, originally from Detroit, Michigan. I do a number of things, and I am just fired up to be here. Our focal point right now is in my publishing house, expanding our publishing presence as well as our international presence with our boutique that we recently relaunched, and starting to do some more revamping to do the expansion in that regard. And I am amongst a lot of other amazing things things, but you can always check on my Instagram. My bio is attached there, as well as in the Clubhouse streets. I'm very, very active on Facebook and also LinkedIn as well from a professional perspective. If you want to engage with me on those platforms, please do. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me, Bishop.
You're welcome. All right, Anisha.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anisha Sharp. I am the co-host of When the Right One Comes in the Clubhouse. Have done some great, amazing work with Bishop in the relationship space. In addition to that, I'm also a certified relationship coach, life coach, but I emphasize most of my work in relationships. I am an author, a speaker, and ordained minister. I coach women in an Esther Academy that I present and host online. I'm a mommy and lots of other things. I'm like coffee. You try to run the list of things you do. I coach people in the book writing process. I have a publishing company, publish books. And I think that's the gist of everything. And so I'm excited to be here and share on tonight. Thank you, Bishop, for this conversation we're about to have.
Candace.
Hey,
Candace.
Okay, I am Candace Parker. I am looking forward to this conversation. I'm a writer, a speaker, a published author, a content creator. So if you are looking to do some things, if you need to consult with someone about pulling out your vision, come on, holler at me. Let's get it done. I am going to say what you are thinking but afraid to say. I am so happy to be here because it is time. It is ladies' night. And we're going to represent for y'all. So connect with me here on Facebook, Instagram, and Clubhouse. Let's get it.
All right. All the way across the pond.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rachel, and I am a biblical femininity coach. I'm also a few other things, but you can connect with me here on Facebook, also on Instagram, and of course, always on Clubhouse. I'm excited to be a part of this conversation, and I'm looking forward to what we're going to share tonight. So good to see you all here with us today.
And Dr. Nick.
Hey guys, it's Dr. Nick. I'm here in the Atlantic City area, and Dr. Nick is actually the abbreviated version of Dr. Nicole Pearl Lyles Belton. And I am the CEO and I am the founder of Greatness in You Incorporated. I am also a mentor, a life coach. I'm an associate pastor here in Atlantic City, and I am also a ministry and business consultant. I am a vegan for the animals. I am a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and I do so many other wonderful and amazing things. And I assist women in learning how to be successfully single. If you would like to learn more about me, you can follow me here on Facebook and all social media. I am looking forward to this conversation. I'm ready and loaded. Let's get it. Hey, mommy. Morgan.
Going to Angelica. We can't hear you.
Somebody muted my mic got muted. Anyway, I'm Angelica from sunny Florida. I'm a mother evangelist. Some of you may know me that in the Clubhouse streets as the Clubhouse flight attendant. I'm a certified life coach, best-selling author. I do some of everything, y'all. To try to run that list, y'all just follow me on Instagram or my website, awministriesglobal.com, to see what your girl is doing in this world that we live in.
Okay. Sarah.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon and welcome from California, the beautiful sunny state of California. It's Shira Lowe here. I am a healthcare executive by day and a ministry leader by 24/7, 7 days a week. I am here to have an amazing time. I'm also a successful real estate investor here in California. I also have my degree in political science, pre-law, as well as Christian leadership and biblical studies. And I'm super excited, like I I said, about the conversation. I also am a professional and career development coach. So if I can help anyone develop their coaching skills in terms of career and professional path, please let me know. And I am here to have an amazing conversation tonight. Thank you so much, Bishop, for having me.
All right. And Dr. Eve.
Hey, everybody. Can y'all hear static? No?
You're-
Awesome. Hey, hey, everybody. Hey, family. Hey, family. Dr. Eve Moore here, all the way from Miami, Florida. Long list of credentials. I've gone to college, master's degree by bachelor's degree, now doctorate degree. I am Dr. Eve Moore. I've attended several universities, from Kane University to Ashby University. Thinking about Bible school, several things that I've done. Those things are really not necessary to go into on tonight. I am a pastor, licensed and ordained. I am also a counselor and certified, and a life coach, certified life coach, realtor. I've heard too, investor, all this wonderful good stuff. Many of you have seen me on television, heard me on radio. I'm just happy to be here on tonight. I also have what's called Preparation Academy, which pushes and promotes marriage for the single community as well as the married community. So I'm just extremely happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. If you all could do me a favor and mute your mics until I call on you, because there's a lot of feedback going on. If everybody could mute your mics. And I'm having slow internet. So we're gonna work through it though. Welcome again, everybody. So here's the questions. Let's start. I want the first question to go to Rachel, and then the ladies can share. Rachel, what do you think men don't get about women? What don't they understand? What men? It's a lot of men on here tonight. What is it that men, if you could share with men, and I want ladies, if you all could not do like the men do, could y'all get out of the comments? Because y'all falling for it. They're lowering you all into the comments like y'all do them. They're doing it on purpose because they want y'all in them cell phones. What do you think men don't get about women, Rachel?
Gosh, that's such a great question, Bishop. I think that sometimes I think men think that we're very complicated, but actually it's not that complicated. It's all about clear communication. I think all of my sisters on the stage today can, on the live today, can agree that if you clearly communicate something, then we're probably going to have a lot less problems in our relationships. It's really about communication. I can't read your mind. However, if you just share with me one sentence or a quick text, a quick telephone call, I can't read your mind. So if you're able to share something with me, then we can communicate and then I can respond appropriately. But I think it's the main thing is communication, clear communication, honest communication, but communication overall.
All right, who else want to add to that? Well, again, what do you think men don't get about women?
I'll jump in.
Else.
I think that men also may think that all women are the same. We're not all the same. We all don't think the same. We all don't function the same. We don't all have the same list. We don't all have the same requirements. We don't all have the same expectations. And I think that, and I know for a fact, we don't all have the same experiences, and our experiences in life are actually what cause us to respond, whether it's in a relationship with a man, whether it's a relationship with family and friends, or on the job. It's our experiences that cause us to do what we do, even sometimes cause us to be triggered the way that we are sometimes. So I would say one of the things that men don't understand, that all women, we're not all the same. We're all beautiful, of course, but we're not all the same. That's my share for now.
Okay. Okay. Who wants to go next? Again, what do you think men don't get about women?
Well, I'll jump in very quickly there. Just to piggyback a little bit on what Rachel said, I think the communication piece, I think that when women are sharing their hearts, sometimes it can appear to be nagging, it can appear to be overstating. But I think what she's looking for is just to be simply understood. So sometimes if men would take the time to not just, oh my God, you're saying the same thing over and over, as I say on the clubhouse, lean into what is she saying and why is she saying it? We really don't want to keep saying the same thing over and over. We really don't. We really want to just say it one time, and you do the thing that makes us feel like you heard us, even if you're still working at the thing we're asking for. We just want to know that you heard us, that you're validating what we said, and I promise you'll hear more closed mouths when she's sharing from her heart, the things around her heart. So there's what I'm saying is we're really not all trying to nag. We just really want to be heard and understood. So that's what I think men don't understand.
Thank you. Let me say this. I want to give the ladies the same respect that we give the gentlemen. And ladies, if you all don't participate in the back and forward with them, I'm very serious about this. So if you all would, again, respect the ladies' opinion. This is their opinion. Maybe some of you don't join us on Monday nights, but I do the same thing with the men. This is their opinions and we respect them. And so we want to have a good dialogue. I'm sure that you all want to hear what they have to say. All right. Thank y'all again. Who else wants to answer? What do you think men don't get about women? Shara.
I think that men and I'll speak from a woman that may have a religious background or some type of religious belief. I believe that they believe that the women that have religious background or religious belief are all maybe bitter and rigid and that they're standoffish. And obviously we know that once a man or a gentleman gets to know a woman, that opinion varies and differs. But I believe at initial glance, at initial meeting, at the initial offset, that he may believe that she is unapproachable, that she may not be able to have, a welcoming conversation or even a welcoming and engaging dialogue about those things that may pertain to relationships, as well as those areas of sensuality and sexuality. And also that she may just, like I said, be standoffish in terms of not even being willing to engage on a relationship level. And so those are the things that I've experienced actually in my life from a personal perspective. I know that initially when someone meets me, definitely based on, what my positions are in different and varying areas, sometimes people get the, ideology that I'm standoffish. But once they get a chance to meet me and dive into the actual, intimacy of who I am and intimate details of who I am, then they realize that I am a unique individual. I'm a fun individual, an engaging individual. So I believe that sometimes there's a misnomer around that particular matter. And those are my thoughts for now, Bishop.
All right. Candace?
So I would say most men do not get that we are on their side. When we speak and when we are encouraging, sometimes it can be misconstrued as you're nagging or you're judging, you're not being understanding, but we're on your side. So if a woman says something to the effect of, hey, this didn't get done, or example, hey, maybe you want to look for a job today. She's not telling you that you are a bum. She's not saying that you are worthless. What she's saying is, I see potential in you. There is more to life than where you are and what you're doing. And so I would say that women often get plagued as being a competitor and not someone who is a teammate. And so anytime we speak, a lot of times men perceive it as nagging or being antagonistic. It's not so. And the second thing I would say is women have feelings, but not all women live in them. So when we are expressing ourselves, we're not being emotional. We're just saying what we think. We're sharing our thoughts. And so I think that most men kind of feel like when a woman just shares from a place of transparency and purity, it is her being emotional. Oh, she's on her cycle. But it's not that. It just comes from such a place of care and concern. And sometimes it can come out as though there are a lot of emotions attached. But because we are on your side, it sometimes gets kind of lost in translation. So I would just say, we got your back. We love our kings. And while we have feelings, not all of us live in them.
So, Candace, do you think sometimes the approach may be the reason why that they think that you're coming for them instead of supporting them? Because that part right there was good. Do you think sometimes some, of course, y'all know I don't absolutely.
Just sometimes it's the approach, but if you are already in a spirit of offense, if you're already walking around with a chip on your shoulder, it doesn't matter if I approach you. If you're angry already, you're going to hear what I say with angry ears. So there's no way I can approach a tough conversation with someone who is already feeling away and not as open to receive. And so, yes, sometimes it is our approach, but sometimes it's the person we're approaching.
This is a demon.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Candace. Who didn't go? Did you go, Coffee?
I did not.
You and Angelica didn't go.
No, sir.
You did go?
No, sir. Mm-mm.
You did not. Okay, then Angelica. Oh, Angelica went.
No, she didn't. She and I didn't go yet.
Okay, go ahead, Coffee.
Dr. Eve, because she had to get back out. Okay, so I think sometimes men don't understand that our definition of love and how it is expressed.
That was going to be so good, too. That was going to be so good.
She's probably going to come back. Like, she got kicked out the room, like we say on Clubhouse. She's got kicked out the room. She'll be back.
Right.
Come back.
Maybe Angelica, you want to jump in?
So I think one thing that, I mean, you ladies done knocked it out the park. I don't really have a lot to say. We touched on communication piece and feelings and not living in those feelings. Because I think one of the things that I encounter personally is that men, they can't tell the difference between when we are venting and when we are just like, we're communicating our feelings. We're not stuck there. We're not telling you, that's where we're living. Like Candace said, we're not living in our feelings. We're just venting to you because you're supposed to be our person. And we want you to hear about our day and kind of push us into that next level. So I don't think men in the types of communication, they don't get the difference between venting when we are having, conversations. I'm trying to just the different types of communication. I guess I'm saying just deciphering those, because it does always get pinned as, oh, you're just being emotional, which for a person like me or a person who's, a strong person, that will shut me down. So I think the types of communication, men don't get how we communicate, that it's not an emotion. We know who we are. We're not emotional creature. We just letting you know how we feeling in a moment, getting it out, not keeping it pent in. So I think they don't get that the type of communication forms that we have. It's not emotions. We're not living there. It's just us wanting to let you know how we are feeling in the moment, but not living there. So that's it. But y'all ladies knocked it out the park with what y'all said.
So stay right there, Angelica. Let's go to the next question. If you could tell the men how to handle you as a woman when he's dating you, what would you say? How should a man date you?
So I'm a busy woman. I'm really busy. So I can't do clingy. So they have to understand my schedule, for one. They also have to understand I'm layered. So when I take off those different types of hats that I have, at the core, I'm a totally different person than Evangelist Angelica, Mom Angelica, Motivator Angelica. The Angelica when all those hats are stripped are a kid at heart. So I'm silly and I'm goofy and I love to laugh. And so in the dating phase, I have found that a lot of men fall in love with who they see on social media, to the point when they do get to experience that vulnerable side of Angelica, they're like, oh, well, what happened to the motivator? And what happened to, I want to see this one that's on social media. Well, the one that's on social media is the one that's coming to encourage people. At my core, though, I'm human and I have emotions and I have to process through those emotions. And just because I'm processing through those emotions at that time does not mean that I'm staying there. I'm just letting you know this is a part of my layer. So any guy that's dating me will have to understand that when I take off the cape with all the different layers of mom, evangelist, business owner, serial entrepreneur, when I take all those things off, at core, I am a human. I oftentimes hear men say that we are humans. Well, you know, females are humans too. And when we take off all these titles, then we are at core. We like to laugh. We like to have fun. We don't want you to criticize us. And so I don't want to be criticized if I made a mistake. I don't want you to be side-eyeing me and make you feel like I'm not that person that you saw on social media. I am her. I'm just having some moments and I'm allowing you to see my vulnerable moments. So in that man should feel honored that I was able to be vulnerable with him because I took off all of that. So if you're dating me, I'm layers, okay? And I think that goes for a lot of women that have all these titles. When they take off all those things, at core, they're human. They're women. And we have emotions. Not that we are emotional basket case, but we have emotions, okay? And sometimes we're processing. And if we allow you to see that side of us, count it an honor because we're being vulnerable with you in those moments. Like our sister Anisha say, lean in those moments. So if you're dating me, I'm layers. And I don't like clingy. I'm busy. And if I don't call and text you all the time, doesn't mean that I don't like you. It just means that I'm busy. And I'll get back to you when I can. So that's what I would tell any man that's, wanting to date me.
All right. Dr. Eve, welcome. If you could tell the men how to handle you as a woman when he's dating you, what would you say? We lost her. Take it, Rachel.
Okay. So I think for me, I really appreciate when a man pays attention. So like because I pride myself, I would say I'm a really good communicator. So if you pay attention to the things I say, the things that I like, I think that knowing me is really important to me. So when you actually take time to know who I am as a person, as a woman, and I think that the best way to date me is to really just pay attention. I am pretty clear about, I think, almost everything. I don't really have gray areas about what I believe, about what I think, or about how I view life or the world or anything. So I think when you've paid attention to me and you've kind of shown me that I can trust you. So I think trust is really important to me. I love being with a man who I can follow. So can I follow you? Can you show me that I can follow you, that you're leading, that you're someone that I can trust, someone that protects me? My safety is really important. And someone that I can feel like I can trust with the vision that I have for my life can fit inside of your vision. So I really love being around men who are visionaries, who have big visions, big purposes, big plans, because I have that too. But I'm really, I think it's really important that mine is inside of his. So I'm looking at those things. So I enjoy being around men who are able to see that and see that although I am a leader, and, I have been through a lot of things and like, I am a strong person, but they can see the softness of me as well. And the way that, that I conduct myself, and they're able to cherish and adore me. So those are the ways that you can date me.
Okay. Let me say one more time, and I'm trying to say it as nicely as possible. Monday nights, maybe you've never joined us, but I don't allow the women to harass or troll the men. So I'm asking the men to do the same thing with the ladies. We're not on Clubhouse. There's a different kind of atmosphere. So I'm asking one more time that you don't do that. Okay. All right. Same question to whoever wants to answer it. How would you tell a man to date you?
I'll jump in, Bishop. I like the question. And I would say this, and most of you who listen to me on Clubhouse, you know that I speak about being successfully single. And what I mean by successfully single is that I'm happy in this place and I'm successful in all areas of my life that I'm working toward. And I'm still continuing to move forward, greater success. But I'm also successful in knowing that I am able to change the narrative about my view on being a single woman. Being single is not a curse. Many of us are single by choice, not because the DMs are dry or the text messages are not moist. It is by choice. So what I want to say is this. When it comes to dating me, I would want a man to know that I am okay with dating, but please don't press the envelope with trying to move me into a relationship because I'm not ready for that yet. And to understand that there are some women who really are not hungry to move into the girlfriend space. There are some women who right now are not hungry to move into the fiance or the wife stage. There are some women who, like myself, have already been married. And if we are going to date, let's just date to have a good time. Maybe we, as Bishop says, we can collect data, but please don't push me into a corner where you are actually putting yourself up to a challenge to try to make me change my mind. My mind is pretty much set, and I want it this way. I've chosen this lifestyle. It works very well for me. And if by chance I choose to change my mind about wanting to go from being single to a committed relationship, then I'll do that. So I would definitely say, if you want to date me, understand that rule number one is you're not going to twist my arm and make me be your girl or your fiance. And God did not tell you that I am your wife, sir. We're single by choice. That means we're going to stay this way until things change. That's my share right there.
All right, Dr. Nick. All right, who else wants to answer that part of the question?
I'll jump in. For me, I'm
who
a little.
Else?
Oh, can you hear me?
Candace?
Yeah, so I'm a little
Yes,
different when it comes to date. I want to have fun. I do not want to feel like it is so militant. I want to have fun. So let's go out, let's hang out, let's have a foundation of friendship that's progressive, that's going somewhere. However, let's be friends. Let's try new things. Let's go out of town. Let's eat well. Let's make out. Like, for me, I'm looking at dating as the trial period to can we get to a destination that we both want to be. So if that's marriage, whatever that looks like. So for me, I need to know I can have fun with you, because when I am stressed at work, when I have the world coming at me, I need to know that not only is the person I'm with a safe place, but a place I want to be. I don't want to go home to a husband who feels like labor. So while I definitely want someone whose vision that I can follow and I believe in, and someone who can pour into me spiritually, you know, when we leave service, I mean, sometimes you got to leave certain aspects at the door, and I need you to tap into me and my man. So know how to talk to me, have some swag, smell good, pull up on me. Let's do the thing. And so for me, that would be the biggest thing with dating me. Relax, loosen your collar or your tie, depending on where you are in life. And let's just have a good time. Let's not stress each other out. Let's be peaceful. I have my girlfriends to call if I need to cry, vent, and be in that space. But for my man, I want him to be able to be as masculine and alpha as possible, but also be someone who I just enjoy being around, someone whose company I like.
Let me switch it a little bit when I get to Anisha and Shara. What's too much too fast in dating somebody? Is there too much too fast that a man can do in dating a woman? Anisha?
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to say great responses, ladies. So good. Absolutely. I think that as Dr. Nick said so eloquently, I think the premise is that all women are anxious for marriage, relationship. And so I think some men who perceive, specifically if your work is in a relationship space, they perceive that you are ready. And so the too fast thing would be to start assigning I'm your wife, I'm your fiance, your girlfriend too soon if you haven't had a chance to really like unpack me. There are levels. And so I think one of the things that moves too quick is just that assignment too quickly, is my answer for that, Bishop.
And I would chime in, Bishop.
Shara?
Yes, sir. I would chime in and say that it's essential for me in the dating process for us to start having very sensual and sexual conversations before you got to know me in terms of from a business, a ministry, an intellectual, and a totality perspective. I tell people all the time, it's easy to navigate into the sensual, intimate, cuffing, if you will, space, if you've gotten to know me and respected me in terms of the total woman, in terms of how I navigate through business, how I navigate through my daughter, how I navigate through having relationships with my family. I love the fact that men are attracted to me physically and they're very complimentary. I love that, absolutely. But there's an appointed time and space that actual conversation should progress to something that may lead to, like the world, people say cuffing, or you hear in society today, cuffing, or anything that would be on an intimate level. I want you to get to know me because I want you to be able to respect me, as a complete and total person prior to us diving into that so immediately. There's conversations, I believe. There's FaceTime presence, I believe. I believe that there's also intimate interactions, I believe, that are for an appropriate time in an appropriate space. But get to know me, respect me, love me, honor me, value me prior to me being able to extend that to you. Am I willing? Absolutely. It's just for an appointed time and appointed season. And I want you to be able to honor and respect that and love that about me. So Bishop, that's my share for now.
Bishop, may I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to say, because there were a few people in the audience that said, is she saying that if we want to be engaged, that we're being thirsty? That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that every woman who wants to be engaged is being thirsty. I said, as Shira said, this is just Dr. Nick speaking. As Dr. Nick speaking, I am not thirsty to be engaged. But if you want to be engaged, that does not mean you're being thirsty at all. Your choices, your preferences, what you want in life, no one can judge that. That's what you want. I would absolutely not do that. But as for me, right now, in my position where I am, I'm not thirsty to be engaged.
I'd love to answer this question as well.
Shira brought up. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, sorry. I just wanted to say really quickly, I love what you just said, Dr. Nick, because I think it also depends on where we are in life as well, because we're all, like, even those of us together here, we're all on different paths as well. Like, some of us want to get married, some of us are not yet, some of us are dating, some of us are not. So I think you just need to be okay with where you are in life. And so how men address you need to know what you really want. I think that's the main thing, is that when a woman tells you what she wants and what she's ready for, definitely believe us, because we know ourselves the best. And so if someone like Dr. Nick is saying, this is not what she's ready for, and if I'm saying, actually, yeah, I would like to get married, whatever, then you need to don't try to convince me on something else. And then also don't try to convince her of something else. You see what I'm saying? So make sure you're on the right paths. And, I think that can be a turn off. And it goes back to the communication piece that I mentioned earlier. When we're clearly communicating something and you don't feel like you fit that kind of, capacity, then we just move on. Like, as long as we're clear with each other, then I think it should be okay. Whatever season you might be in at the time.
So Shara just brought up about sex. Like that shouldn't be a conversation in the process of dating. That's not exactly how she said it, but you know what I mean. So anybody, at what point in the dating process or at all should a man bring sex up? And I'm asking this because if you have not seen the men's show from last night, I promise you, you need to look at it. It's very graphic. It's a little different kind of show. But since she mentioned it, I want to ask that. At what point do you bring up sex? Do a man bring up sex? Or do y'all bring it up? Because they say sometimes, they say last night, sometime, I'm getting a delay, and I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm not at home, and the Wi-Fi is horrible. I'm looking at y'all in two places. I'm looking at y'all on here and on Facebook. On Facebook, you're not freezing. On here, you're freezing for me, so I apologize. But at what point do you bring it up, or do they bring it up? Go ahead, whoever.
Okay, Bishop. So I'm back in the room.
Who wants to go?
This is Coffee. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
It's a delay.
Yeah,
We can hear you.
go ahead.
Okay, awesome. I think every woman's discussion point when it comes to sexuality varies. I don't think it's a one-hit wonder as far as how we feel and how we handle sexuality when we want to have a sexual conversation, the nature of the conversation, the complexity of it, all that good stuff. That varies from woman to woman. In the dating space, it depends on you as an individual. I just can't see us saying, well, month 3, day 2, day 5, day 10. It doesn't work that way. And honestly, to be really quite frank with you, there's a comfort level that comes with that. And that comfort may show up quicker with some people versus with others. So sometimes it's that comfort that you have with that person, and you have your hair down and you're good with that individual, so much so that that dialogue may happen a little bit sooner than it has happened in times past previously. So every situation is wired totally different. So if it's a guy and you have this really good comfort level with him, and the topic comes up in a very tasteful and classy manner. Now, if it gets a little raunchy or, a little bit out of control as far as how the dialogue and discussion is being addressed, then that's going to be problematic. But you can have a sexual conversation with a lot of taste and a whole lot of class. So it just depends on, again, the person that you're dealing with, the timing of your connection as far as the chemistry that you guys have, and if you are okay with it. Some women are not good with it at all. They don't want to talk about it during the dating phase at all, whereas other women are very open to it, and they like, what up? Let's talk about it. Let's get it in. So it just depends on the woman and what she wants to do and her comfort level. Because, I can talk about it all. Let's go for it. Let's talk about it. Now, I will stop a guy real quickly if I say, hey, now you taking that on, you're going way, way too far with that, sir. I'm going to need you to reel that back on in. So let's talk about something else, because you obviously not ready to talk to P Coffee about that, but let's talk about something else. So you can always gauge and do a temperature check and see what's going on with the dude. Because some guys, you can tell by how we know how the dating thing goes. Some dudes, you can tell they just gonna be ratchet when they get started, whereas other guys, they're just very classy out the starter gate. So gauge the dude, gauge the timing, gauge the chemistry and the connection, and then from there have the dialogue. But I personally, this is just P Coffee Brown speaking. This is just coffee. This is just my thoughts. I have conversations about sexuality during dating. I am not going to wait until we decide to be in a long-term committed exclusivity point before I get some questions answered. Amen. That's just me.
I want to jump in, respond to that.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I want to respond from a position of abstinence, because as you all know that I am abstinent, or if you want to call it celibate abstinent. I'm not having sex. That's intersex, outer sex, no sex. So, and that is by choice. So I want to say, when talking to a man, that is not something, or I'm meeting a man, that's not something that I bring up at the first conversation. Oh, just so you know, you're not getting none. Like, I'm not like having that conversation. I think that's a little tasteless. But what I do is I will wait until he may bring up a conversation that's going that way. And then I'll let him know where I am in my stance when it comes to not having sex, when it comes to not even putting myself in a position where I will be a little hot bothered and want to have sex or want to do other things. So as Coffee mentioned, I don't believe there is like, date number 3 about the 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time point. I don't say that, but I will say, if the conversation arises and, he may mention something sexual, or I may even notice, if we're out and he may, touch me in a certain way, then I'm like, wait a minute, we need to have this conversation, because I'm not that chick. Like, this is not where I am. And I believe that you can, be a sexy woman and not have sex. And I believe that sometimes people just assume that everybody's having sex and everyone's not having sex. So I think that, it's very important to use great discernment and also be respectful, because just because this is my choice doesn't mean I'm going to beat him down because that's not his choice. But I am going to let you know that this is where I am. This is how long I've been here. And if you would like to date me or be around me, you're going to have to know that we can hang out. We can, we can go to the movies. We can do this. But when it's over, you're going home and I'm going home too. And I'm going home alone without you, because we can say we trust ourselves, but you really don't know what will happen. I don't care how celibate you may be or how long, but if you're on the couch with someone and you're sitting across from him and he's smelling good and he's saying the right things and it's been a while, or that right song comes on, you just don't know. And everything that you prayed and prayed and prayed for just going in one minute. So I would just say have that conversation when it comes up, but also be respectful, because you don't want to beat someone down because that's not their preference.
Bishop, can I just chime in here really quick? I'll be very brief. Is that okay?
Sure.
I just wanted to say, I love the comment that Dr. Nick made in reference to with the intent to not beat him down, especially when you're in a healthy relationship and a productive relationship. It's so important that the value of the two individuals are maintained. And so when you're having the conversation in reference to Dr. Nick's point, being celibate or abstinent, which I am as well, it's not with the intent to make him feel as if he's not wanted and he's not needed and that he's not attractive. It's just literally you're setting the boundaries for the health and the well-being of the relationship. I tell people all the time when I'm having that conversation, it's not to reject my man, it's actually to protect my man and to protect him and protect me in this space so that the relationship can evolve in a very, very positive, productive, and safe, and also sensual, but safe way, because we've set those boundaries and those expectations for one another. So I just wanted to also piggyback on what Dr. Nick said. It's so important that the communication is clear for the edification of both, for the safeguarding of both, but also for the love and the respect and the dignity of the actual relationship. So that's what I just wanted to add that. Thank you so much, Bishop Greg, for allowing me to share that.
Okay, so I like this. What I'm putting this up for a minute, Marlinda. Is flirting sexual? Is flirting sexual? That's a good question.
No.
Yeah, I'll jump in there. I mean, I think it's just
Candace?
a simple no. Oh, go ahead, Candace.
Oh, I don't think it is. And I think that, so I've been told I'm a flirt, and sometimes I'm not being sexual. Sometimes I'm being playful. It can be sexual. I won't sit up here and say that sometimes we as women are not being sexual when we are flirting and doing different things and saying different things. But I think that just depending on the chemistry, and I'll be honest, like for me, I'm the person that, I mean, I'm single, so I'm the person that can be at the restaurant, and if my waiter is cute and I'm out with my girls, I just may, tell your mom and dad they did that. and just, thank you for coming. Like I don't think it's sexual. I think it can be complimentary. I think it can be fun. And then I think that to the last point, because I know that we're going to dive deep into this, I think certain conversations you have when it makes sense to have it. And there are some people who have talked sex in a first conversation, and it didn't mean that they fell into sin and had sex. And there were some people who waited. And so I think you do what's best for you. I've been on both sides of the fence. And I just more so do what I want when it feels natural to do. And I can't expect anyone to hold me accountable. So I have to just make sure I have self-control. But I know for me, if I want to ask something, I'm just going to ask. And if a person asks me something and it's not the right time, I'm okay with saying like, what are you doing? But as far as flirting, I think it can be sexual. I've done both. I've done the innocent flirt. I've done the sexual flirt. I've done the quiet flirt where you just look, gaze from across, you just across the way. It's just a little, when you want them to come over and shoot a shot, but you don't want them to be insecure about doing it. And you just make eye contact and you just kind of smiles and a little smirk. And then you just look away, just real soft and subtle. And they come. But yeah, so that's my answer.
I'd like to jump in there really quick, Bishop.
All right, Anisha, you want to?
Yes, I do. I want to jump in there really quick. So to agree, I do believe that.
Again, ladies, I apologize. I'm behind, so please forgive me. My Wi-Fi is acting up, so just if you hear me delayed, I'm not cutting y'all off. But go ahead, Anisha.
No, that's okay. So I agree with Candace. I don't believe that flirting is sexual. However, it can be. But what I want to offer in this space too is I think. And I'll just speak for myself, and I will speak for myself, but I'll speak for other women who I believe feel the same way. Sometimes we do want the permission. And when I say permission, not that we're asking, but we want to feel like we can be, because flirting is a part of your sexuality. And we want to feel like we can have our sexuality. We can be, even as a Christian woman, we can be sexual, not that we are, saying, come get me, or we're, presenting sex, but that we are owning our sexuality as beautiful women, as women who like our bodies, as women who like whatever we like about ourselves. And so sometimes in the space of flirting, you're just owning your sexuality, having a little moment. Maybe it's a bat of your eyes, a flip of your hair, or however. But I do think one of the things I believe, I'll say personally, and I do believe other women feel this way, is just being able to have those moments and men not assume that we want sex. We just want to have a little fun. We just want to be a little flirtatious, a little, sensual, a little sexual, or how we're feeling in that moment, and not feel like we're doing that, which means that now you think it's about sex. So that's my share there.
Oh, can I
Bishop,
jump in here? This is Dr. Eve. I'm here now. The queen is here. Listen, let me help y'all. It depends on who it is that determines whether or not it is sexual or just a game. I personally don't flirt with anybody that I'm not physically attracted to. I don't talk to anybody I'm not physically attracted to. So there may be a time in my flirting, I may actually be saying, "Oh, Lord, either come get it or I'll give it to you." I mean, it just depends on who it is and how far we are into this thing. I mean, are we talking the first day? Are we talking over the phone? Are we talking the first 90 days? Are we talking 6 years? I mean, what are we talking here? If it has been some time and I am physically attracted, it is very much sexual. I want to see what your sexual chemistry is like when it comes to me. If I'm flirting with you, I want to know that you're in tune with all of this milk chocolate, vanilla, caramel, frappe. I'm just saying. Dr. Eve, and these are my thoughts. I'm just Dr. Eve, and these are my thoughts.
It's the frappe for me. Yes.
These are my
It's
notes.
the frappe
The
with
frappe.
the whipped cream on top. And I might just lick around. Yeah. Praise the Lord.
Amen.
Praise the water.
Yeah, y'all are so diplomatic. Honey, please, if you're attracted to him, you're attracted to him. Give him a little shot of what you got.
Give him a little
Teresa, I'm trying to help the people. I know we
Okay,
got you down just a little bit, but
So, so, so you mentioned attraction. What what attracts like I'm talking any ladies. What attracts you to a man, or no? Let's do both. What attracts you to a man, Angelica, and what turns you off to a man? What attracts you and what turns you off?
Y'all hear me?
We hear you, boo.
We can hear you.
Okay, so let me tell you.
Testify, daughter.
This hair got me feeling some type of way. This some new hair. But anyway, so what turns me on about a man is his conversation. You can't hit me with the WID text all the time because that's going to be a turnoff for me. But if you can stimulate my mind and we can talk about some things that we have common interest in, that will turn me on. One of my biggest turnoffs is when men, because I'm a businesswoman, will come at me with a business proposal and then switch it up and try to go on a date with me. That is the biggest turnoff, and I want to tell any man that try to do that, you have no shot. Don't ever try to come to me on a business proposal and then switch it up with dating. If you want to date me, say that and give me the humble opportunity to tell you no. But do not come at me with a business plan or like, oh yeah, I want to do business with you, and then we start doing business and I really find out that you wanted to date me. That was your real motive.
Charge you for a consultation.
Right, because I could have charged you for that.
Should.
So, but literally, like, conversation from a man is a true turn on. I'm a sapiosexual, how they say it.
Sapiosexual.
What, say that again, sis?
Sapiosexual.
Sapiosexual. That's me. That's your girl. Have some conversation. You ain't even got to touch me. Your conversation can be right. And I'm like, ooh. Oh my God, look at him. And then I start looking at you in a different type of way. So a man's conversation turns me on. But one of the biggest turnoffs is if you try to come at me in a business proposal type way, because I do have men that do that often. And then they try to date me. And I'm like, well, sir, you have no chance of a shot because you're trying to play on my intelligence. And playing with my money is like playing with my emotions. Don't do it. Okay. So that's it for me.
It's the playing with my money and emotions for me. I love it.
I want to jump.
I was gonna jump into.
I wanted to jump in there really quick. Copy, are you going?
Yeah, I was real quick.
I want to go after you, Copy.
Okay. So I'm loving this. Oh my goodness, this is just good. There's something that comes to mind, and I'm sure you ladies can concur with this. Scent can be a big turn on and a turn off.
Oh Lord, yes.
That pheromone life, baby. If the pheromones not right and you don't have incredible hygiene, that's a massive turn off. Massive turn off. It can be a massive turn on or turn off. Another thing too, going along that vein is I need your oral hygiene to be in total tact. I'm talking about I need you to visit the dentist on a regular basis. If you got some issues with your teeth ministries, I can refer you to an incredible dentist in a state near you, amen? So we can get your mouth right, because that is something that for myself, I don't know about my sisters, but I think y'all would say amen. If that man coming up on you and that grill is not right, it's going to be exit stage left, sir. Please. Now, I'm not saying that you have to do what I did, go have surgery, get your thing all situated and whatnot. But there are things that you can do, and your dentist can give you some guidance and some instructions on how to execute, and it not be a huge expensive venture. But for myself, when it comes to that scent and those teeth, honey, it's the teeth for me. And I got to be able to be into that fragrance when you step into my presence. Angelica's anointing was right on time, but I need to be able to smell you, and I need you to smile for me, please. Praise God. Yeah. Okay. All right, and she's on you, boo.
Yes. I love coffee. It's coffee brown for me. So for me, it's interesting. I like that you said attraction, because I do think that sometimes it may appear, and let me say this may sound awkward. While I do want to be attracted physically to the person I'm in relationship with, that's not the biggest thing for me. I've definitely been in a relationship with extremely attractive men. And for me, it's bigger than that. Definitely character. Your character is huge for me. Being who you said you are. specifically in the initial meeting, right? Our initial time of getting to meet and know each other, when typically the representative shows up, I want to know that if I am falling for this person, that you'll continue to be that person. So that's extremely attractive to me, being who you said you are, being consistent. Also being strong enough to handle me, to being strong enough to lead me in a way that doesn't make me feel like you are pushing things on me, but that you are leading in such a way that I'm open to your opinion. I'm open to your advice. You've been in a space where I trust you enough to be open to what you want to share and open to your leading, open to your counsel. I definitely like a man who knows more than me. And so, being able to be open to what you share. But for me, a lot of that's going to come through the space of your consistency. And so I am also a sapiosexual. So your thinking capacity. I don't like low level conversations all the time. I don't want to just talk about the basics of life. I want to talk about real stimulating conversations. Sometimes things that, it's just we're dreaming together. We're just sharing ideas and thoughts. And so that's important to me. And laughing. I love to laugh. I think a funny man is always going to get my attention. And so what is not attractive? I think what is not attractive is a man who just simply leads with his ego, his money, what he has, what he looks like, and what he does. I just think that for me, I want to know who you are beyond that. Who are you beyond what you've achieved? Who are you beyond the money? Who are you beyond the clothes? And so that for me, character is major. So this is Anisha Sharp, and these are my thoughts.
I'll jump in after the beautiful coffee and the beautiful Anisha. As we say, the beautiful. That's what we say on our stages. The beautiful, the beautiful. I am going to start with my turn offs, and I am extremely turned off by a man who feels that he has to impress me because of the things that I have earned and obtained in my life. I am so turned off by that. You may have heard me tell the story about the man who told me about how he goes to Gucci, and every time he goes to Gucci, he has a personal shopper, and how he follows him around the store, and he picks out his things, and he serves him water, and he serves him his favorite drinks. Like, that's a major turn off. A man who's constantly talking about the different name brands that he has, that's a turn off as well, because you can have name brands and have nothing. And have name brands. I am very turned on by a man's work ethic. I am extremely turned on by a man's work ethic. I'm turned on by a man who has worked hard in his life and has earned everything that he has and is not content with staying where he is. I am very turned on by a man with power, but knows how to use his power and not abuse his power. I'm turned on by a man who has a passion to serve other people. Although he's extremely powerful, although he has earned and obtained great things, but still knows how to serve other people. I don't want to ever be with someone who has great things and great degrees, big money, although I love money and nice cars and nice homes, but will not serve other people, won't serve the homeless, won't give anyone anything, won't give back to charity and things of that nature. And this is a small thing, which is absolutely major to me that will get you hung up on. I am turned off by men or women who chew on the phone. I can't stand it. I have left certain Clubhouse stages because the moderator is chewing in the phone. I think it's absolutely disgusting and repulsive. It makes me sick to my stomach. Everyone has their thing. Some people don't like when people put their feet on them. I can deal with that, but I cannot stand to hear people chew. It just makes me sick to my stomach. That's it.
It's stupid for me. My God.
That is so funny. That is so funny. Bishop, can I chime in really quick right here? I'll be brief.
Anybody else want to share what turns them off or on about a man?
Yeah, I can chime in, Shira. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Dr. Nick, that was a candid share, and it was very, very funny. For me, a turnoff for me is when a man presents himself as arrogant and overly confident and overly ambitious. One of the things I tell people all the time, if you're overly ambitious, that means that you're not only willing to mow down the streets and mow down the people in the streets, you're going to mow down me with those people in the streets. And that's a no for me. And so overly ambitious, overly confident. You know, I one of the things that's very, very attractive to me is that a man that is a silent, confident, and literally, I mean, just in a safe place, in a safe space. When he's silently confident, that means that he's making boss moves behind the scenes, and he doesn't have to scream it to the rooftop. What he can do, his actions speak louder than words. And if actions speak louder than words in reference to performance, or how he shows up in whether it be his business acumen or in ministry and serving other people, if he can do it quietly behind the scenes, and quietness and confidence will be his reward. A lot of times people don't understand that what you do in private manifests in public. But if you have to scream it to the rafters in the rooftop in the public, 9 times out of 10, you're not doing much in private, and it's not going to be sustainable. So for me, the overly confident and I should say arrogant man. Also for me, what's an actual turn on for me is a man that actually can tap into my emotions, that can literally sit in his emotions, and he doesn't feel weak or diminished or demeaned because he is actually tapping into his emotions and supporting me in tapping into my emotions. And that he's able to navigate through that space in a very healthy way, that he's able to be loving and kind and generous, but also strong and protective, you know, and also a man that will allow me just to simply be me. A lot of times, like I said, people, when I show up, they think that I'm just rigid and hard, but a real man that can actually speak to my mind, my heart, and my intellect all the same, pulls out the laughter, pulls out the joy, pulls out the fun and the sensuality out of me. And he makes me want to disarm, disengage, pull down actual, you know, and let down walls and become naturally who I am, which is a fun, very talkative, you know, lively person. And also, I tell people all the time, I like a man that not can only do business. I want you to be able to navigate through the business world with me, but I also want you to be able to simply just have some fun, go paintballing with me or go laser tagging with me. We're not too grown to just be innocent acting kids that can have fun. We all need to release. We all need to have great fun, especially if you're a high performer. And I need him to be able to be multifaceted like I am in order for us to be able to have a very engaging, wonderful, and positive and healthy relationship. And so those are some of the things. I too also, like Dr. Nick, I don't like the braggadocious man that says I have this and I have that. All of that is not necessary. If you just show it and manifest it, we'll all be good. But if you have to talk about it 9 times out of 10, you really don't have it. And that also brings, you know, a level of discomfort, not only to me, but to our actual engagement. And we don't want discomfort there in the engagement. We want joy and peace and fun. That's what we want. So this is Shira Lowe, and those are just my thoughts for now.
It's the shoulders for me, Shira. It's the shoulders.
Multifaceted ministries. I think the multifaceted ministries is what got me, Shira.
That's
like
right. That's right. Thank you.
All right. You opened your mic, Rachel, or Dr. Eve?
I've really enjoyed listening to my sisters share what they are turned on and what they're turned off by. And I think it's important that we know these things, you know, as women. The more in tune you are with who you are as a woman, and for me, femininity, of course, is like, you know, what I talk about day in, day out. And what that looks like is a woman who's in touch with who she is, knowing who she is and knowing what she wants and what she doesn't want. And these things really help us, you know, in everything. It's not even just about relationships, but it's about life in general, that we know what we want out of life. And for me, the main things that turn me on about a man are, you know, his drive, his passion, the way that he conducts himself. I love men who are very confident in who they are, and they're not afraid of being different. They're not afraid of, you know, coming into a room, disrupting what's happening, but still also able to honor other men in that space. Men who aren't afraid of other men. Because sometimes there'll be men who are afraid of competition, or they're afraid of, they kind of get weird with other men around. But a man who knows who he is doesn't really care about those type of things. He knows how to honor other men and respect them, but still know who he is. Those are the main things for me. A man with vision, and who has a strong sense of direction. That's very important, of course, because I said before, I like to be able to follow. And I think what's a major turnoff for me is a man who needs a mother and not a wife. They're two very different things. And, we all have different needs and different requirements, but sometimes men would love for you to more build him up and make him a man. And for me personally, I'm not available for that level of relationship. So for me, I prefer to be with a man who is already a king rather than someone that I have to make a king. Because that for me is a lot of emotional turmoil and a lot of emotional labor, more than what I am prepared to do at this stage in my life. So those are just a few things I just like to add today.
Rachel, I'm going to start using that, and I'll make sure I give you credit. I'm not available for that. I'm not available.
And I like the emotional labor. That was very good.
Oh, that was good, Rachel. Absolutely great.
When she said that, my God. You know what, y'all? Another thing I think you guys can concur with this is that enjoying a man who knows how to treat people that serve. Guys that treat people that serve really well, when you guys go out and about to various places, and how he treats people that have to serve him, even when he's not benefiting from them, but there's having to serve. I love a guy who understands how to treat people that serve, and the value that they add and the presence that they bring to your experience. Because if you don't treat people well that serve, it's going to be a bad experience overall with that individual. So I wanted to just add that really quickly. A man that knows how to treat people that serve is a welcomed blessing for sure.
May I? Do y'all hear me?
You may.
Okay. Yes, thank you very much. So I'll tell you what my turnoff is first. It's men who don't know the difference between there and there, THEY apostrophe RE and THEIR. Yeah, I need that. What is it? What's a turn off? A guy who will church me to death because he knows I'm a pastor. Don't hallelujah me, sir. Make me say hallelujah, but don't hallelujah me all day and all night. Don't text me, what are you doing all day? I'm doing the same thing I was doing maybe about 5 minutes ago when you text me before. I'm working, I'm making these coins until you come riding in here along on a white horse to gallop and take me on off into the sunset, and I don't have to work anymore. What's a turn off? Oh, yes. A turn off would be someone who is maybe 5 feet and I'm 5'8.5". We can't do nothing, baby. Y'all know that's a turn off.
Put him on your hip.
No, I can't put him on my hip. I cannot do that. My son, he has to listen to me. It's a turn off. It is a turn off. It's a turn off. A turn off is, and I'll give an example, someone who offers me milk and they know I'm lactose intolerant. Sir, you need to be listening when I am speaking. You need to lean forward, not just in, but lean forward. Listen intently. Yes, that's a turn off. Listen, coffee. I feel you. Turn off when you stink. Lord Jesus, have mercy, God. Now, too much cologne, too much of anything is not good enough for you. It's just not good for you. That's a turn off. Too much cologne. I have asthma. Okay. I need to be able to breathe. But what is a turn on? A turn on. Oh God. A turn on is a man who can, send little texts throughout the day and tell me, whisper sweet little nothings in my ear, through text, that is, because I'm busy. But a turn on would be, y'all know what a turn on is. It's the king, Joe Global. He is a turn on. Where is Joe?
Monday night, Joe Global?
Monday Night Joe Global, dark chocolate, tall, handsome, got it going on. A little roughneck here, a little sophistication there. Y'all know that intelligence, y'all know that is a term. He can take you to the hood or take you through Revelation, back to Genesis, the blank page in between the Old and the New Testament. Y'all know that's a turn on. Though that's just an example. I'm just giving you an example of a turn on. Okay. A turn on is good skin. Oh, glory to God. Smooth, clean skin.
Drink your water.
Hallelujah. Turn on is not seeing you in the same clothes day after day, week after week. Don't FaceTime me with the same thing you had on yesterday. Start change your shirt and your drawers. What is a turn on? A turn on is a man who just knows how to treat you. Yeah, that's a turn on. A man that is not talking all over you. Yeah, that would be. I know they say we talk too much, ladies, but there's some men out there who just run their mouth and it just don't ever stop.
You gotta submit though.
Oh, girl, I'm submitting. I'm submitting. One to another. Oh, that is a turn on. A turn on would be a man. Y'all know what a turn on is?
What?
A turn on would be a man who knows how to leave and cleave. Don't bring your mama to my house and try to run. Huh? That's a turn on. A turn on is a man who pays his child support up. Oh, glory to God. A turn on is a man who has his own vehicle to ride in. Oh, that's the turn. A turn on is a man who comes to the table with his own house to live in and ain't got to live in mine. Now, that is a turn on. That's a turn on.
It's the housing authority for me, Candace.
Listen, the housing authority. That's a turn on. A turn on would be section 22.
Come on.
Section 22, lot 135. That's a turn on. That's a turn on. I'm just saying. That's just to name a few.
You couldn't be with someone who wanted to move into your house, Dr. Eve. If you're gonna be a helpmate.
My God.
No. Excuse me. If you have to move into my home, I'm your provider. Then if I'm going to be your provider, I might as well be your priest and your protector too. As a matter of fact, go ahead on and put your bonnet on. Go ahead and put on your bonnet. As a matter of fact, if I have to provide you, if I have to be the provider, protector, and the priest, I might as well get down on bended knee and propose to you.
They doing it though.
No, child. You see how tongue-tied I got? Do you see how tongue-tied I got? I can't even speak the word propose to a man. Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
So ladies, I have more questions. Ladies, I have more questions.
Oh, yes.
I got it, Dr. E. We got it. Thank you.
Oh, I just thought
all right, so let me ask you all these few questions. Rachel, if you had a choice, if you could choose, you can only have one or the other. You can't have both. You could either have a good lover or a good provider. Which one would you want?
A good provider.
You can only hold on. You can only have one. You can't have both.
Mm-hmm.
Which one would you have?
Yeah, a good provider.
Which one?
Provider.
So what about the loving?
You said good lover, so he can be okay.
A good lover. He can just be okay?
Yes.
But
yeah, because we can grow together. Like that part, because I tell you why, because we can grow in that part. But if you already don't have the vision that we've all been talking about, the vision, the purpose, the power, then you're already not the type of man that I would want to be with in the first place. But the lover part, we're going to learn together anyway. So that is not as much of a big deal for me, because that's something we can learn together. But what we're not going to learn together is how you are going to provide.
Okay. Anisha, good lover, good provider. Which one?
I knew you were going to come to me. This is a difficult question. So when you say lover, do you mean like loving me well, or you mean sexual, or both?
No. I'm talking about sex. I'm talking about either he's good in the bed or he's a good provider.
Yeah, I would say provider. I thought you were saying loving me, but yeah, we can learn the sex part.
I mean, he can't. I mean, he's not. Rachel said, you know, she can teach, but he's clumsy. He's not good. She stalled then.
I'm still gonna stick by my answer. I just, I think there are so many things when you are of a certain age. I think you're aware of your body and you're aware of how to help somebody. So, I don't think that I think the provider piece. Now, if you said love, because that's my thing, then that's different. But if we're just talking sex, then yeah, run me the money.
Okay. Anybody says differently, you go with the lover rather than the provider. It's 250 on. If you all could just share 250 on all platforms. Anybody got a different? All of y'all provider? Anybody lover?
Sex is a part of provision.
Anybody provider? Yes.
Sex is a part of provision, Bishop.
Huh?
Sex is a part of provision.
Preach.
No, he's not good.
Preach.
Well, shoot me now. Just shoot me now.
Bishop said he's not good.
Go ahead. Break it down.
We get inundated with provision from one perspective a lot of times, and that's monetarily. We don't talk about emotional provision. We don't talk about social provision. We don't talk about family provision. We don't talk about intimate provision. All of those components are a part of being a good provider. So if a person just brings money to the table and that's it, that's not a provider. A provider is much more than just a monetary present. And so in my mind's eye, when I think of provision, I think of provision in all facets, and I think of it from a sexual perspective as well, because he's going to be the person providing me with sex for the balance of my human days. I'm not going to have another provider to impart into me in that regard. So for myself, a great partner, as far as sexuality is concerned, it is encompassed in the provision. That's just my opinion, my thoughts, and this is coffee. But I don't look at provision as a separate component where it's only money. This is only money. That is not what provision means. Provision is to fill up whatever an empty space is. And that empty space is going to transcend far greater than just a tangible resource as it pertains to money. That's just my opinion. So I wouldn't want to be, if I would have to choose and say, oh, I want the money, I don't care about the sex, I would be lying to my own self, because I can't do it. I'm not gonna be able to do it. I'm just being honest. I can't do it.
Okay. Anybody else? Angelica?
I'm gonna go with provider. Yeah, I'm gonna go with provider. I think I would have said lover, but then when you said what you say was on the sexual, right, Bishop?
Yeah, that's what he meant by it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with provider, because I can't teach you how to provide for my family. So therefore, you're going to be another child that I'm taking care of if you can't provide for yourself. I already got 3 kids. I don't want to raise another one. I don't want to provide for you. So you have to be, I want the provider. I don't want the lover. We can try to figure something out. They did invent toys, so I might just use one of those if we're married, but I'll take the provider all day.
I agree.
Candace?
I would say provider, because sex that's too good makes you crazy. And
But you don't want your husband to make you a little loony too?
I'm gonna go in a little loony, just a little bit.
Cool for Cocoa Pops with your husband?
Look, I'm gonna have that. I got that on lock for him already. I'm going, but I can't. I think that when we think about being a provider, I think most women, let's just be honest, while we don't mind contributing to the bills, while most of us will be in the position to take on the bills if we have to, No woman wants to be with someone who does not know how to provide. That is one of the benefits of getting married. And so I could just be by myself. And so like Angelica said, get you a toy, figure something out. But if the sex is too good, no, sir, no. And sex doesn't pay the bills. I can't bring our I can't bring that to Consumers Energy and Comcast. I can't do that. I can't pay my car note with my orgasm. So no, absolutely not. But I can pay it if you provide. Yes, sir. So praise God.
Shira?
They making me shimmy over here. Listen, I say this. I agree with all of the ladies. Actually, it has to be provision for me, and not from a materialistic vanity perspective, but more so from a holiness perspective. I don't believe in struggle love. I tell people that all the time. And I believe that if you have struggle love where there is complications around provision, especially from a man being able to provide from a woman, I don't believe that any other of the actual duties, whether it be or wonderful pleasures or interactions that could be mutually beneficial could happen. I tell people all the time, if you love one another, you can teach and grow in the sexual space. In the sexual intimacy space, you can teach and grow and blossom and bloom in that sexual intimacy space. But if there's no provision, you're not growing anywhere. Actually, you guys are going to end up homeless. And there is going to be no sexual intimacy at all. And you won't even have a bed to sleep in, less known anything else. And so I think that a lot of times that we do have to put the emphasis rightly where it needs to be placed. And that needs to be provision first. And then the other things can grow and blossom and mature and be, created into this mutually beneficial, beautiful space. And so that's my thought on that matter. That's Shira Lowe speaking.
Dr. Nick?
Hi guys. I loved all of your responses, and though I can provide for myself and for my mate, I don't want to have to be in that position to do that. So I'm going to go with provide, and in the other capacity, I'm gonna stick beside him. And we're gonna find a way to make it work. I'll be able to find a way to put an extra pep in my step if we are well provided for, in addition to what I already bring to the table. I believe if I love that man the way I love that man, whether he can, bring me top notch, whatever, because he could have been bringing me top notch and then something can happen to him physically, and now he can't provide anymore sexually, but still is able to provide financially. I still have to love him and stick beside him. So I'm going to go with that aspect of I would rather, deal with the financial part, and I wouldn't, be so caught up on the physical aspect. I'm going to stick beside him, and we're going to learn some tricks and things and make it work. Come together at a happy medium.
It's the tricks that we learning. My God.
I was waiting on Coffee to say that.
So Dr. Eve, let me switch it. If you had to choose between a hard worker or somebody that look good. Hard worker or somebody that look good.
Say what now? A hard worker
or man that works hard or looks good.
Looks good in what area?
That looks good. Yeah.
Like where it looks good enough that I can put him on the street corner. I mean, now y'all know. Better than to ask me something.
Whatever you choose.
Let me just think about this. Of course he has to work, and he better work. He can't have the queen without a job. I'm sorry.
No, you got, the question is not both and, it's either or.
No,
he looks good.
I just answered it, Bishop.
What's that?
I said he can't have the queen without working. He must work.
You want a good, okay. So you don't care how he look.
I do care. Listen, as long as he brings home that money, I can dress him up. We can fix his face.
Okay.
I live in Miami. They got doctors on every corner. Whatever needs to be fixed, we can make it happen with good coins. Hear me, hear me, hear ye, hear ye. Get those coins.
Okay. Candace, looks good or hard worker? He's not the best looking to look. He's ET.
I'm gonna have to just look down and pray, but you got to be able to provide. I can't teach you how to get a job, how to get out and protect and be so I can't teach you how to do what I can't teach you that. And as far as the looks, I think we date men that are unattractive anyway. When you think about, couples like Jay-Z and Beyonce. And if she didn't have her coins, guess what he could do? Provide. So I think that women do it all the time. I don't know. I mean, not to be rude and say that men, there are not good looking men out here, but the majority of relationships you see, most of the, not most, just a handful of the time, there are women who will date men that are so unattractive and people's first thought will be, he must have money, and he probably does. So, provider.
Okay. Anybody got anything different? Everybody agrees with that? Okay. Let me give you another one, a different way. Here we go. If you had to choose between bad looks but good lover, bad looks or good lover?
I'll jump in.
Are y'all there?
That's bad looks. So he's ugly.
So he got to have a bad.
He's a good lover. Oh yeah, I don't want bad looks.
Yeah, you gotta look. He gotta look. He gotta look down at you or look up at you. Either way,
Yeah,
you want to do it.
I don't want bad looks. I mean, I think attraction is very important, and since we are talking about the sexual piece, you don't want to. I've said this before. You don't want to be covering your face with a pillow, not because it's amazing, but because you don't want to look at them. So, that. Yeah, I don't want to. And I don't say anybody, I think everybody's beautiful. But I do think there are certain things that we're attracted to, Candace. I do think there are certain things that we're attracted
I mean,
to.
Candace just said the looks don't, you walk down the street and some people
She was
together.
confused.
Yeah, you specifically said bad looks though, Bishop. So you're saying I'm not attracted.
Yeah, but listen. Candace just said, y'all know y'all be walking down the street and you see some people together and wonder why they're together. Mm-hmm. I mean, Beyonce and Jay-Z is not a good example, okay? That's a whole different. So yeah, he looks bad, but he's a good lover.
Yeah, no, I want to be. I have to look at you. They can't have bad looks.
Y'all are check. Oh, but it's
no,
okay.
I want to answer.
No. See what y'all saying? It's okay for him to look bad if he got money.
No,
that's really what y'all just said.
No.
In all them questions. Huh?
No, Bishop. At first you said good
Candace,
lover.
did you hear what
But at first you said Bishop,
no,
good lover.
No, y'all was all right with him. Listen, Linda. Y'all was all right with him being ugly when he had money.
I'm okay
with
him being
ugly. Did you hear the same thing?
No.
I am okay.
No one is ugly.
Be as hard on the eyes as you need to be. Let's pay these bills, man of God.
That's right, Elisha. He said right there, bad looks got levels. That's the truth.
That's
but if you only had the two choices of him, but it's a different thing now. Now y'all want him to look nice in bed.
Turn me
you don't
out.
Want ugly
We'll
man
be okay.
Sleeping with you.
We will be just fine. As long as he has money, he can be ugly and be in the bed, turn me out over, flip me out.
We're not talking. We talking about sex
I said all of it,
We
Bishop.
talking about
It's
sex
a
and money
package
right now.
deal. Okay, but listen again. Why are you gonna be? You're gonna be fine
No,
and can't perform,
no,
and I gotta lay
because
next to you?
nobody.
Don't drop your water.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm getting delayed. Go ahead.
It's okay. I'm saying no thank you to being fine and can't perform. What good is me looking at you at night and you can't do nothing for me? No, that's a no. That would be a no-go. I think I agree with Candace. You know, people have unattractive people all the time. And just like Elisha said, there are levels to, you know, unattractive. There are different levels to unattractive. So are we talking about like, I don't even know how to describe it, like an alien, a Martian or something? I
Are we
mean, what
talking
you
about
saying?
Shrek?
I just said he's ET. He's ET.
Oh, well, I'm gonna dress
He's
ET
ugly.
up, okay? As long as everything else is okay. Dress ET right on up. He'll look good, make him smell good, make him look good. He might be the last man on earth. Just take him as long as he can turn you out.
I want to believe that we wouldn't even get to the point of knowing if he could turn me out if he's not attractive when I first meet him. So, so I wouldn't.
What if he's the only man left?
Just me though. Just me. I can't.
What if he's the only man left?
Well, I'm single right now with no man. I'm good. So I just feel like now I want to say two things. I think that we would have to get to the point where, first of all, like I have to even be attracted to you, let you take me to dinner. And just talking about realistically. Now, then on the other side of it, how many of us have broken up with somebody and we look back at them and we're just like, oh my God, I can't believe I was with him. So I think to the point maybe Candace made or someone else made, all of us have dated someone who kind of grew on us, maybe at least one person that grew on us. And we look back and like, we're saying like, I cannot believe that this was the one, something that they said, something that they did. Maybe they were really nice, or maybe they just grew on us, or maybe it was just something that we just ran up into or ran up in, you know, and then we just ended up finding a way to love this person. But looking back in retrospect, we just can't believe it. But looking now, if I was to meet someone who was not attractive, I would never know if he was a great lover. I would never know if he was financially well off because we probably wouldn't get that far.
So what if he
Anybody else?
started out like being a friend first? He was just around you and he treated you like super wonderful. And then all of a sudden one day you're like, oh, wow, he is so kind.
I did that. I can't.
It's the facial expression for me, Dr.
All
Nick.
of us have.
It's all on your face, Dr. Nick.
I was trying to watch my words because this is not as safe as Clubhouse.
Right.
So I didn't want to say when, who, where, how, what year, husband.
Right. We're not in the safe space, Dr. NYC. We're not.
I did that.
Leave him in the road. Just kidding.
Angelica, we can't hear you.
So, ladies, last question.
Okay, there she goes.
Angelica's talking.
I just wanted to say that.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
When you talk about bad looks, though, what's attractive to me might not be attractive to the next woman. Because I done dated some dudes, and I look, you know, I was like, you know, they look all right. Their conversation or their characteristics and their character, what attracted me to them. You know, so who look good to me might not look good to the next person. So I might choose what somebody consider bad looks, but their character and their conversation is what drew me to them. Because I have dated some not so cute guys according to standards. And then I've dated some super fine guys and their ego turned me off and they made them ugly to me. So it really depends on how we define looks. So yeah, so I might go with the bad looks if their conversation good. Maybe nobody won't talk to him if I got him and he don't look good to them. He'll just be
Angelica said, I'm the only one that want him. Don't nobody want him.
I'm the only one.
He likes Celeste.
Man, he became a one-woman man.
Ain't no competition.
So ladies, last question as we get ready to get to 11 on the East Coast. Shara, from the answers of all these ladies tonight, the questions that I've asked that had to do with whether they take this or provide, or everything comes back to money. Shira and Rachel, I want you to piggyback this because you are an authority in this. Can you come back? It sounds like y'all want some high value men. That's the word that is out now, high value. Would that be you're a six-figure maker, and others on here are, I'm sure. Is that what we're hearing from the ladies tonight? That want some high value men?
I think, Bishop, from a standpoint of they're not wanting just a high value man from a financial perspective. They want a high value man from a totality or total and realistic perspective, because I believe that the way that society is defined high value is so undermining and so undercutting to a real man that not only can provide from a financial perspective, but also can provide from a spiritual, emotional, physical, social, psychological perspective. And so when we're talking, I believe, now this is just Shira Lowe speaking, I believe when I am and the other ladies are speaking about high value man, they're speaking about a man that not only can provide, but he also can protect. He can have fun. He can love you. He can make sure that you're safe. He can also navigate life, navigate through life with you, from an equality perspective. And when I say equality, that doesn't mean that everything may be equal from a financial perspective, but everything may be equal in terms of how we approach life and purpose. So I don't want any man to believe that we are diminishing them, because I hate when we show up in society or women show up in society and they only make men feel like they are valuable to the extent that they can provide money and dollars and resources. I think that's diminishing, in my opinion, and that's demeaning, in my opinion. But if he can provide not only a wealth of resources and finances, but also provide himself as a well-positioned, well-postured, loving, kind, gentle, man filled with character, and he has money, that's not a bad game right there. That's a beautiful, a wonderful, well-received, yes, shimmy, well-received man from my perspective.
Yes, Shira. Shimmy.
Yeah. So that was really great, Shira. I think that what you just really hit the nail on the head. Oh, sorry, Bishop.
He's delayed, Rachel. Go ahead.
Okay.
No, go ahead, Rachel. I didn't know she was done. I'm behind. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry, ladies. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. So yeah, I think that there is a misunderstanding. I'm quite frankly around this concept, and it's quite sad, really, because the term high value woman or high value man has actually been around for many years, and I think I honestly really hate when things become popular in the urban community, because suddenly it becomes this, like, it just gets really weird. And now it's kind of like, it sounds like the focus is only on finances, but that's never been the case about what that means. And when we are talking about this kind of the type of man that that most of us, I mean, not everybody, because everybody wants something different from relationships and from marriage and from their life. So first of all, everybody doesn't need to want the same thing. That's the first thing. But when I personally talk about this type of man, it is being a provider is only one aspect of the qualities that I am personally looking at. And it's four things for me, and you probably heard me say it a million times, and we've said it even tonight, is he someone whose vision I can follow? So the word for that would be prophet. Is he someone that I can be led by spiritually? So can he be the priest of our household? Is he a protector? Do I feel safe with my dreams, with my visions, and not just my person, but me as a woman? Like, do I feel safe in my feminine energy to be around his masculinity? Because those are the things that encompass what that type of man is. Provider is only one element of that. And it's those four areas that when they come together, that is, to me, what a man of caliber, class, and quality is able to do those four things. And those things we come, obviously under those four topics, you've got to have subtopics and, you know, other questions are underneath those things. But those are the 4 pillars for me around the topic. And it's not just about provider. It just seems as though for some, I have no idea why this is happening, but it seems that that's the one thing that is being promoted or is made as the main thing, but it isn't, because it's the other things as well. Those 4 things together are what make a man of quality and substance.
Okay. Who, Anisha?
So good question, Bishop. You know, I really do agree with Shira, and Rachel said a lot of great points there. So for me, I think again, I really can't add a whole lot more. I think that high value is not just about money. I think that we have put it in that category. We made it just that. But I do think it does encompass character. I think you can have a lot of money and have poor character. And so in my, assertion, for me, that would now put you out of a high value man. For me, I won't be attracted to you just because you have a lot of money, but your character's poor. So to me, that equals poor altogether. I think we do want high value men, but I don't think it has to stop at the pocketbook. I think it stops at treatment. How you represent yourself, how you represent me. Do you have a vision for the family? If you're moving into that particular space. So I think there's so many components there. I think that we've just taken this particular, we've taken it from a particular coach that's been on social media, and we've kind of put it all in that box. But I don't think that it just stops at that one place. However, I don't think any woman will say finance is not important. Providing is important. That is important. It gives you a sense of security. If your man if he can, not that he has to, but if he can do those things for the home. So that is important, but I don't think it's the only thing that encompasses a high value man.
Okay. Anybody else want to add?
I'll add.
Take away.
I'll add really quickly. I think that high value may not stop with money, but it starts there. I've never heard or seen anyone say a guy who wears his pants to his knees and is selling mixed CDs out of a Dodge Charger is high value, even if he was like a great guy and had good personality. I've never seen anyone give those kudos to the brother that was, a school teacher making $40,000 and, just going to the gym and walking his dog I've never seen that man get labeled as high value. So I think that money is not the only thing, but it is the most important thing. And I think that a man with bad character with money would still be considered high value before a man who was just what would be considered an average Joe. I think that a man who was unattractive with money would still get labeled as high value over a man who didn't have much. And so I definitely don't believe that when a lot of women say it, that we only want to reference money. But for me, I'm like, let's just be honest. And as much as we like character and we like men that are attractive, we all kind of sat here and said that being a provider was the most important thing. And so in my opinion, high value, now for me, I want you to come with some character, but I don't think the bulk of women care. I think most women are okay if you have money and you can't have sex. They're okay if you got some money and you look unattractive. They're still going to call you high value because of your bank account. And so so that's just my thoughts. Like, yeah, the character is great, but it's women taking these rich men with poor character, getting cheated on, and still bragging and saying, I got the high value man. So just a different perspective.
I'd like to jump in and say this. I think that everyone's definition for high value can be, catered to what their perspective is of high value. As we were talking about money and how important it is, I dated someone a long time ago, not now, who was a street pharmacist, if you will. And he made lots of money daily for doing his street pharmacy on the streets and making lots of money. But he would never be considered a high value man in my book. Did he have money? Oh, he had money. But he would never be considered a high value man. To me, he was selling drugs to kids. That was a major turnoff to me. High school kids at the end of the day, when they were coming out of school, that's where he was. So I definitely want to say that it's not all about the money that makes, you know, as some have already mentioned, that makes him high value. And I'm sure for many, although we haven't said it, or maybe I may have missed it, that he definitely, when it comes to high value man in my book, he has to know God for himself as well. Because if he has money, he has great character, he's a nice guy, but he doesn't have a relationship with God for himself, a strong, as Shira says, strong. She talks about strong 6-figure earner, but a strong relationship with God for himself, know Jesus for himself, and can pray me through when I can't pray for myself. Like, that's major to me, because you can have the money and you can have the cars, you can have the homes, and you can have the influence, and you can be a boss. But if you can't pray us out of a hole, we're going to have a problem. So like, that's a lot of different things on the list. I don't use the word high value, but I know, you know, it's one of those terms being thrown out now, like toxic. It's just everywhere. But when it comes to high value, I believe all of us should, you know, if we say we want a high value man, you know, all of us, not just those on the stage, because I already know they know, but even those who may be listening, make sure you make your own definition for what high value man means to you. And then if you choose to get with someone, make sure you explain that to him. This is what my definition of a high value man is, just so we don't get things a little misconstrued here and thinking that I think that I'm with someone who may be high value, or even a high value woman. If you consider yourself a high value woman, if we consider ourselves high value women, what does that mean to us? So it's okay to have a shift in our perspective and our definition, but I want us to make sure that we have a nice definition of it that caters to our world and what we want in it, and definitely great substance.
Everybody's perspective has been absolutely.
Anybody else want to add to that?
Can you hear me, Bishop, or can you not? Can he hear me, or is he still in the land of delay ministry?
He's still delayed.
He can hear you, he said. Go ahead.
All right. So, you know, I'm sitting here and I'm processing what everybody has said. And I tried to pull up my paper that I did for school about high value, but I can't locate it. But we were admonished in college to write a paper about high value. What does the word value mean, and what constitutes high value? And so I had to go on a quest to identify from my forefathers up to now what that even meant. And there was a speech, I don't know if you guys ever actually heard the speech in its entirety. And Martin Luther King comes to a pivotal moment in his speech where he talks about, if you're going to be a street sweeper, be the best street sweeper there is. If you're going to be an educator, be the best educator, be the best at whatever you set your hands to do. And so I want to leave you guys with this thought. There are an extremely high amount of humans that will never see 6 figures. Let's just be real. There's a lot of humans that'll never see that. On average, the average median in the region where I'm at doesn't exceed $50,000 a year for a family. So we don't want to lower people's thoughts of humanity into a box of money and say that the man that has a wife and 3 children, that is a sanitation worker, that does it to the best of his God-given ability, is not high value. He is of great value. A person in the community who is a community activist that loves on people, that treats people well with respect and integrity and dignity, those are high value humans. And so we have to go past the superficial concept of just tangible resources and look at the quality of the human in totality, because you're talking about the vast majority of human beings will never, ever see those type of resources. You talk about 1, 3, 5, and 10% of humans will exceed those expectations as far as 6 figures and above, the monetary aspect. But when you put the hay down where the goats can get it, do they have qualities which hold high value and high regard for human beings and how they treat themselves, how they treat others, how they navigate through this space called life? You could be a high value bus driver. You could be the best bus driver on your entire unit, that they know that without you, the bus terminal would never be the same. So we have to look at it from a bigger, broader scope than just from a tangible resources perspective. So I'll close with this. My dad is totally blind. He lost his sight in his early 20s. And the most money my father ever made per hour was $3.12. $3.12. He's now a bishop in the Lord's church. He has a PhD and all this other kind of stuff. He is financially free. He owes no man nothing. But my father has never earned a lot of money. But when I tell you he's high value, he's high value. And it's not just because he's my dad. He's a pillar in the community where he lives, and he's known as a good man. And that's what we don't want to lose out on, that part of identifying. Sometimes our purpose person won't have a large bag, but baby, they'll hold you down. And that's what we have to look at. If they're going to hold you down, treat you with love, honor, dignity, and respect, handle their affairs and be good not only to themselves, but to everybody that surrounds them in the space God's granted them, that to me constitutes high value. This is Coffee. That's my share.
Thank you, Coffee. Anybody else want to close with theirs? Didn't say anything. Dr. Eve, did you have?
No, I think the ladies pretty much summed it up, so I would hate to repeat anything that's already been said. Everything has been stated. Thank you so very much.
All right, ladies, thank you all. And before we go, those that are on here every Monday with me for the last 47 weeks, you know how we do it. The ladies have sacrificed their time. They didn't ask for anything, but this is just the way that I do it. And some of you already have started giving. Thank you, Maxine, and thank you, Tanisha and Pamela, because y'all know how we do it here. So I'm asking, of course, they haven't been here 49 weeks or 48 weeks like the men, but if everybody tonight could hit the Cash App, Venmo, whatever it is, and just simply give a $25 seed tonight, so that we can cover expenses of blessing the ladies. And there's a lady behind the scenes, Marlinda, who is pushing all the buttons. If you all would go to $ Greg Davis 10, Zelle Greg Davis Show at gmail.com, Venmo Greg Davis 1, Cash App $ Greg Davis 10. If you would go there, or you could go to Gmail. Some of you may want to do more than that. You've heard of a collective of thoughts and opinions. Men that are here, you heard how women think. Women that are here, maybe they echoed what it is that you believe. Maybe not all of them, but some of them, one of them. Thank you, Kimberly. Let's do it. Let's get it done. On tonight, we don't want to treat the women no less than we treat the men. So if you all could give, thank you, Antoine. Appreciate you. If you could give on tonight, even put in the comments that you're doing so, I would appreciate it. The ladies were on it. They look wonderful on tonight. They look beautiful, all of them.
Thank you, Bishop.
Thank you, Bishop.
They've added value on tonight.
Thank you, Bishop.
I'm frustrated because of my Wi-Fi. It did not. You're welcome. You're welcome. I couldn't hear them like I wanted to. I was talking over them, and I'm just frustrated for the connection. But we'll do this again real soon. Kimberly, thank you. Maxine Marks, Shayla Stevens, Broderick, thank you. Oswald Fancy, Bree Adams, thank you. Shannon Moss, thank you. I love y'all. This is 46 weeks worth of work. They just respond. Thank y'all so much. Some of the same people that are here on Monday. It's a community. They know how we do it. We appreciate the value that the women bring on tonight. They could have been doing something else tonight, but want to get them some Starbucks or something, or whatever they drink on tonight. So I need at least 50 of y'all to do that. Thank you, Elisha. Thank you, Elisha Carson. Thank you, Clay Brooks. Appreciate you. All right. Thank you. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Any of you ladies just want to encourage some of the ladies as they're given tonight to hang in there? Any of the ladies, any one of you just want to encourage, or just a few of you ladies that are celibate, ladies that are abstinent, ladies that are waiting. All of you are coaches in your own way. You're writers, you're preachers. Any of you would like to do that? Thank you, Christania. Thank you.
I'll jump in, Bishop.
And I'll go after her. Yeah, I'll go after her.
And I'll go after Anisha.
I definitely want
continue to give as they're talking, y'all. Continue to give.
I definitely want to say, first of all, thank you, Bishop, for allowing us to be on your platform. Let's take nothing away from this all tonight. If it wasn't for Bishop Greg Davis, we would not be here. So we say thank you for allowing us to be on your platform. This is the Bishop Greg Davis show platform. This is his. We are allowed to be on his platform. So we say thank you. I want to say to anyone, whether you are in a season of abstinence or whether you are single, whatever your area may be, if you are feeling challenged in that area, I want you to know that it's okay. If you have moments where you're just wondering, why is it going to always be this way? I'm giving up hope. If you made a decision and you've made a choice, remember your why. This is what I do when it comes to me having to question myself sometimes, or even when I get questioned, or is it going to always be this way? Some people even get a little concerned and say, are you sure you still like men? Like all kinds of things like that. Sometimes I actually do get asked, but I remember my why. Remember your why that sometimes points you back to your story, whatever that is. There is a reason why you made the decision that you made. There's a reason why you have done what you've done. There's a reason why you are where you are today. And listen, you may be the only one who understands why you are the way you are, why you do the things that you do, why you think the way you think. And you don't have to have a large group of people who understand. But as long as you have a great understanding within yourself of why you do what you do, remember your why, and that will keep you going. That will be the battery in your back on the days that you feel weak. That will be your amen corner when you feel like you have nothing that you can absolutely say. You know, sometimes you are going to be in this game of life where you are playing the game and have to be on the sideline being your own cheerleader. And that's okay. But please know this one thing. In the end, it will all be worth it, and it won't always be this way. So if you need encouragement, my DMs are open, and I am always here to encourage and empower women, not just the successfully single women, not just the saved women, but the women who need encouragement and empowerment. Because I remember I once too needed someone. Thank you. I love you all. This is Dr. Nick, and I'm complete.
Who's next?
Hey, everybody, it's Dr. Eve here. First of all, I do, again, want to piggyback Dr. Nick and say thank you, Bishop, for allowing us to share on this platform and just be ourselves and transparent. Y'all know I'm always going to be myself. But I am so grateful for the opportunity to make an impact on it in a different light, so to speak. And for those who are watching tonight, I just want to say to you, remain encouraged. There's this, there's something I say quite often, and there's a saying that I repeat quite often, and it's when you look in the rearview mirror of your car, There's a little message there on that rearview mirror, and it says, things in mirror are closer than they appear. And there are so many times, and I know many of you were talking about relationships and all of that good stuff. And many of you right now are in places of number one, decision. You may be even in transition. And lastly, you're in a place of desire. And all three areas have you somewhat not knowing what to expect. And for many of you, you may be discouraged. You know, while I laugh and I joke and all of that wonderful stuff, I really do care about how many of you, if not all of you, feel. I just want to say to you this very thing here. The things in your mirror, meaning in your rear view, those things that you are envisioning, that you desire, whether it be marriage, whether it be a good relationship, whether it be a move, whatever it is that you're desiring right now, things in your view are closer, much closer than they appear. Don't get discouraged. Sometimes things seem far off, but I'm telling you, it's at the brink of you just throwing in the towel, saying, you know what, to hell with all of this. It's at that point that you actually are about to walk through the greatest doors of opportunity, of relationship, of love, of success. There's several of you that are even on here tonight, and you have given up on love because your heart has been broken. You've been torn, all of that. But can I tell you, if that heart has not stopped beating, it can love again. If that brain has not stopped working, it can create a new idea that will open and unlock doors of opportunity that you've never seen before. Lord have mercy. If that tongue does not stop running, guess what? You can talk and speak those things that be not as though they were, and continue to speak your destiny into fruition. There is so much in you that the world has yet to see. There is so much before you, and I'm talking about in 2021, that you have yet to see. And this is the year. Can I just say that to many of you? This is the year. Over the next 90 days, that you are going to see tremendous, enormous opportunity presented to you. Now, what you do with the opportunity this time will determine how far you go. Mistakes are just that. They're mistakes. The past is just that, the past. Things happen so we can learn. Take everything that you heard tonight, eat the meat, spit out the bones, but take the most significant things as a torch as you continue to run this race and make it to the finish line. There's so many great things in you. There's so much out there for you to explore. And I just want to encourage every single person that is watching, that's going to watch the playback. Oh God, things in the rearview mirror, things in your view, things in your vision, things in your dreams are so much closer than they appear. Don't give up. Don't throw in the towel. Don't say this ain't for me. It is for you. And guess what? What God has for you is coming to you right now. Love y'all.
Great share, Dr. Nick and Dr. Eve. First of all, thank you again, Bishop, for this opportunity. Such a great conversation, ladies. Thank you all for just the shares. And I know that it was a blessing to many people who are watching. Just very quickly, the only thing I would add, there's already been so many great things shared, is I do know that, just in talking to women, the frustrations that you feel of the dating space. People say, the dating pool has pee in it, and just, all of this rhetoric that people have experienced because of being hurt, because of putting your heart out there, because of trying and it not working, because of divorce, because of all of these things. And so my encouragement for you would be to take a moment and just know that where you are right now, you are good. You're good. Whether you're in a successful relationship, whether you're divorced, whether you're husband, whatever, wherever you are, you're good. And then I would say to you, after you acknowledge the goodness that you are by yourself, no one added, by yourself, the goodness that you are, when you acknowledge that, begin to ask yourself, What is it that I really desire in relationship? Your ask, ASK. What is it that you really, really desire? Because oftentimes we focus on what we don't want. I don't want a man to do this. I don't want a man to do that. I don't want a man. And what we're actually doing, we're focusing on it. And what we focus on expands. So what you want to expand is, what is it that you really want? And know that it's possible. I'll add this. Know that it's possible when you're willing to do the work necessary, when you're willing to heal, when you're willing to go through those dark places, when you're willing to forgive, when you're willing to not hold the new man accountable for the last man. So that will be my offer tonight. Get out of this rat race of what everybody is saying men are, what they're saying men are not, the lack of good men. Get your mind off of those conversations and focus solely on your ask, your ASK. What is it that you want? What is that you desire? Begin to believe for it, call for it, expect it. Don't just ask and not expect. Expect it, look for it, and I'm telling you, it'll come. So thank you again, Bishop, for this conversation on tonight. It was so amazing. Love seeing all the comments, how this has helped people. Thank you, ladies. Y'all were amazing. This was so good. I look forward to part 2. And this is Anisha Sharp, and as Dr. Nick says, I'm complete.
Yay.
Anybody else in closing?
I want to jump in if I can. Oh, go ahead, Angelica.
And I'll jump in after y'all.
Is Angelica, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. My mic.
Y'all continue to get, hold on, y'all. Y'all continue to, yeah. Hold on, Angelica. Y'all continue to give as they're giving. I just need about 20 more of you to give $25, please. And we'll be complete, as they say. Go ahead.
So first of all, thank you, Bishop, for the platform. You know, I love this. I love these ladies. We are a good mix of energy, chemistry, and we say what we need to say. And we wouldn't all have come together without you, Bishop. So thank you so much for the platform. This is the Bishop Greg Davis platform. So thank you so much again. What I want to offer in closing, as far as encouragement, I always say I'm not a relationship coach, but I am an empowerment coach. And one thing I do know how to do is encourage. And I just want to share something, a revelation that God had given me this week. This week. I've been house hunting, and I was out looking, and I was looking at the market. If anybody knows, this is a seller's market, and I was getting discouraged because of the prices versus my credit. And I almost got discouraged and was getting ready to settle for something that I didn't want. I was getting ready to put a bid on the house, and it wasn't everything that I wanted. Anybody know me, know I love clothes. I want a big closet. I want my kitchen to have an open floor plan. I want what I want. And as I was getting ready to place the bid, God said, and I think even Bishop made this post after God revealed it to me, don't settle for something that you don't want. Because once I make that purchase on that house, that's where I'm going to live, and that's where I'm going to settle. And God said, why are you settling for something that you don't even want? And the reason why I was going to get ready to settle, because I was getting ready to get frustrated with time. I felt like I had a time limit on me having to move and get a house and start this process. And so what I'm saying is, don't settle for something that you don't want. You deserve to have everything that you ask for, especially when you're doing the work. I've done the work to get the house that I want. I just got to be patient for that right house to fall through with everything that I want. And that goes with life, and that goes with relationship. Don't settle for, ladies, a man that you don't want just for the sake of having a piece of a man. You can have everything that you want in a man. You can have everything you want out of life, but you have to be patient. Don't get frustrated with time, and don't feel like you have to settle because your clock is ticking, or this is happening, or you're looking at somebody else's life. Focus and stay on and look at your own lane. Focus at what God has for you. Focus at what's on the end for you, your destiny, your journey, your dream. Stay focused on that. And when you stay focused on that, your timing will come in the right timing. Don't get frustrated with it. And most definitely don't settle for something that you don't want. If you're single, you might as well wait for what you want, and what you want will come when you're ready. This is Angelica, and I'm complete. Thank you, Bishop.
I love that, Bishop. And thank you so much for just giving us the opportunity to just share and pour and to learn. I love everyone. We do this. We are a family. So make sure you are connecting. But I just wanted to encourage someone, and I shared this before on Clubhouse about, it was some time ago. I'll never forget. And I just want to encourage someone who may be looking at their situation and questioning their value. Why not me? And no one can tell you that you are valuable. It's something you have to know. It's not based on your performance. It is not based on if someone assigns it to you or not. You have to know for yourself. And so as you're waiting, if you are single, if you are back single again because a relationship may not have working and you, I don't like to say divorce, but you're single again, I just want to encourage someone that even in singleness, you're still valuable. I remember it was some time ago, I was thrifting. I love thrifting because I like picking up odd things. And I stumbled across a designer bag. And the lady at the register had like tossed it to the side. And I was like, oh my God, like this is old, like I'm like, this bag is worth thousands, and she didn't even realize it. And I'm looking at it and I was like, it's authentic, it's real. And she's just like $3. And she didn't understand the value of this bag, but guess who did? And I'm like, give this to me, give it here. It was like an old school Fendi bag. And I was like, wow, this is a keepsake. This is a collectible. And because she didn't understand it, it didn't mean that it had slipped past me. And so I just want to encourage you that even when no one else sees your value, even when they toss you to the side, even when they say that your price is $3, just understand that the value is not in their hands. Don't let anyone assign anything to you. Don't settle. Don't stay somewhere you don't want to be. Don't have just to have. And just know that if in this season you are single, it's where you are supposed to be. No good thing will he withhold from you. If it's not there yet, if you don't have it yet, it's not good for you yet. It doesn't mean it will not come. And what we have to understand is God is able to see where we're going to be 10 years from now. He understands what we're going to need 5 days from now. And so if something has specifically not met you where you are today, all it means is today, in this time, it's not something that is good for you. It doesn't mean you will never get it. It doesn't mean you've been forgotten about. It just means that in this season, your assignment looks a little different. So be mindful of your posture while you're waiting. Be mindful of how you're living your life. Don't be on pause. Get out there, travel, make new friends, do the things that you desire to do so that you can have a long list of things to tell your spouse about. Yeah, I was waiting for you, but I had so much going on that I didn't feel stagnant. I didn't feel bitter. I wasn't upset. And so in this season where you may feel forgotten, I know I had days where I was like, God, did you forget me? Because when you desire something so badly, it seems as though everyone else is getting it. But if you can't be happy for someone else, how can God trust you with it? So make sure that in a season where you don't have what it is you desire, you're living your life. You're praising God. You're thanking God. Your posture is one that is open to receive, because what will happen in your bitterness, what will happen in your coldness is that those things will attach itself to you. And when that person comes, you'll spew all those things onto him. And so now you got this person that you can't keep. So just be mindful of your heart, your mind, the things that you take in, the friends that you join with. Be mindful. Your day is coming. Your time is coming when God says so. And until then, just get out there and do you. Take some classes, read some books, jump on Bishop Greg Davis's show, stay connected, and don't be discouraged. God hasn't forgotten you. He loves you too much to not give you something that you desire, especially if it's in his will. So I am Candace. I am complete.
I'll jump in here, Bishop, if that's okay, really quick, and I'll be brief for the sake of time. I just want to encourage the people and remind them And thank you so much, Bishop, for this amazing platform. I mean, it's been awesome sharing the actual stage in this platform with all the beautiful ladies. So shout out to you all. You all look amazing and are truly amazing with amazing hearts. So thank you all.
Thank you, most beautiful Shira.
You're welcome, most beautiful Dr. Nick. And I love the hat. I love the hat, Dr. Nick.
There y'all go. There y'all go. There y'all go.
So really quick, I just want to remind you all and encourage you all in terms of as it pertains to the relationship space. I tell people all the time that yes, it's been a period of time since I have been married. I was divorced 9 years ago, and God blessed me to transition out of that season. But He didn't bless me to transition out of that season without purpose, without intent, and without cause. A lot of times I think that we're so busy trying to jump back into a relationship space that we're not mindful of the seasons that God wants to take us through. Anyone that has ever had a bad piece of fruit out of season knows that it's not just rotten and no good for consumption, but it also can make you very sick. And so I want to encourage you all, please, in this space, in relationship space, if you are transitioning out of one relationship to a next, allow God to take you through the beautiful healing process, the building process, the cultivating process, and then the preparation process. If you allow Him to take you through those beautiful 4 seasons, God will blow your mind and bless your heart beyond all of your dreams and beyond all that you have literally asked and or could possibly think. I know that now in this season, now that I am actually in the preparation season where God now can thrust me into a wonderful and prosperous and amazing relationship, is because I allow God to do the work. Don't allow anyone to place an unrealistic expectation on you, because each and every one of our processes are different. The length of time is different. The process is different. How we navigate through that space is different. But if you allow God to literally mold you and shape you into the beautiful fruit that He has ordained and called for you to be, you can be offered up as something good, ripe, whole, and good for consumption. That's what God wants to do. And I can tell you in this time and in this season, because I allow God to do the work, no matter what it may appear in the eyes of people or man, I have the right foundation. My foundation in my relationship with the Lord, my finances, my relationship with my family, and also my relationship with my community and ministry. I allow God to do the work. So now He can thrust me into literally the preparation and also the manifestation stage of relationship. Don't allow anyone to put false expectations on you or unrealistic expectations on you. Allow God to beautifully evolve you through this amazing season of preparation, so that now when it's time for manifestation, you walk wonderfully and beautifully in it. Like Candace said, with all the wholeness, the completeness, and all the authentically yourself that God has ordained and called for you to manifest in that relationship. So God bless you all. Thank you all for being on tonight and listening to us. We greatly appreciate that. We love you all as the listeners. And thanks again, Bishop Greg, for this amazing stage. I'm glad to see all of you all. God bless you. I love everyone, and have a great evening.
I love everybody.
I love everybody. Right. This is me talking down, and I'm just so excited to have had an opportunity to be here. Normally Tuesday night is my actual show. And so when Bishop extended the olive branch, I would be remiss not to show up on the platform with Bishop for all the incredible things, all the value that he adds to all of us. You guys, make sure you're following him and make sure you're adding value to him tangibly and intangibly. Send him a note if you don't have any tangible resources to add value. Send him a note, something. Just say thank you in the way that you're able and positioned to, so he'll know that you care and what he's doing is working. You know, a lot of times in coaching and things like that, and doing different things and having different shows and on different stages, we need to know that it's working. We can't just assume that what we're saying is adding value to you. So you guys have to let us know by your testimony of your experience and what has happened as a result of us being present with you. So definitely let us know how we're blessing you guys and how we're adding value to you in the space of relationally as it relate. I mean, we're talking about relationships relating to money, relating to family, relating to friends, relating to your children, relating to everything. There's a relationship that we have with everything that is in our lives. So I just want you guys to understand one final thing. There is wealth in waiting. There is wealth in waiting. You have to find out what the wealth is of your weight. You have to find out what the wealth is of your particular weight. There's always a reason why there's an interim. There's always a reason for the dash between this date and that date. There's something in the middle that needs to be filled in. So you need to ask the Holy Spirit to lead you and guide you as to what is in the middle in the process that you're in that WAIT. God, what is it in the middle that you want me to know, that you want me to experience, that you want me to grow to or grow from or grow in? So there's a lot to learn in the wait. There's a whole lot of wealth in the wait. I have done a garden before, guys, and I've actually put in different plants and all that kind of stuff around my home. And I remember one year I called my dad. I was like, dude, it don't seem like nothing's going on with these flowers. My dad said, keep putting water on them, keep putting water on it. And I remember when I saw the first bud, how excited I was just for that bud. It hadn't even put the actual budding of the flower yet, but just to see the green come up from the ground and knowing that the watering is what made it work. So be okay with the wait, because there is some wealth in it. And on the other side of that, you'll be producing those beautiful flowers that you only imagine seeing. But you got to keep watering in order to get that wealth. Blessings. I am P. Coffee Brown.
Y'all done? Everybody?
I should say hi, Sylvia.
That's so nice of her. She said, I want to follow all you beauties. And all the ladies are available in some way of coaching or instructing. There are writers up here that can help you write your books. If you ladies have dreams, y'all do, those that do that, raise your hand. That assist in that. Anisha. Candace, you ain't doing it no more. You didn't retire from that part. Raise that hand, Candace. All right. There are coaches. All the coaches, raise your hand. That's up here. All right. That's everybody, just about the coaches. Yeah. So what you need, if you found your voice up here, follow these ladies and make sure that you, some of them have books, some of them are coaches. They're all coaches, just about. They can help you to fulfill your vision. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate you. And you all make sure that if you're on Clubhouse, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, all of these ladies, along with gentlemen, some of the gentlemen are gone. I think they got mad at me, but that's okay. I'll make it up to them. But you all have a great night, ladies, and everybody. The given information will stay up for 5 minutes. Marlinda, thank you for the back end. I appreciate you and love you. You've been hanging with me for 3 nights.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marlinda. Thank you, beautiful. Sleep well tonight.
I love Marlinda.
Well, yes, we love Marlinda.
Sunday night with the prophets, Monday with the men, and now tonight has been a full week, and so we can breathe now. Thank you, ladies, and good night to everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, guys. We love you.
Good night, everyone. God bless
Oh,
you.
with God, Anisha, you gotta stay there.
It's still early on the West Coast, so you know.
Go ahead and shimmy, Shira. Shimmy
What's going on tonight?
That's right, shoot. Have a good night, you all.
Y'all ain't gonna do nothing but go get on Clubhouse.
My
Good night, everybody.
good night. Good night. Night, y'all.